Hey everybody, and welcome to the Underwater Level, episode 7. We have so much to talk about today. Like a lot. Uh I delayed it a week because I wasn't feeling good last weekend. Um but more things came out within that time. Um Also GGH Fluttershy, thank you for the 30 stream streak. Um so there's a lot of stuff about the Switch 2. Um in between that time, I was able to get my pre-order. Um After they were able to put them out in late April. Um Now there are like, well, actually we'll talk about it when we get to the pre-orders, but I was able to get my pre-order for Switch 2, so we're going to be going over a lot of Switch 2 stuff, a lot of other stuff, a lot of trailers came out. A lot of news about other things, about developers doing some bad things. Um we'll we'll go over that later. Um right now we're going to talk about a little bit about some of the updates concerning the Switch 2, some uncovered rumors and games and stuff. So let's start there. So first we have the Switch update that happened. That's how long it's been since we've talked. Um, but the Switch update like shows the virtual game card stuff. They shows the game share. Um, this is just on the Switch One. That is. They also they revamped the eShop. The eShop is different. Um, it makes it to where the a lot of the slop, it doesn't like show up first in the eShop. It still doesn't run too well, but you know, um, yeah, it's red now instead of orange. Um, we've got a lot of updated icons. Um, there's also the system transfer icon now uh for transferring all your Switch 1 data to the Switch 2. I would not do it right now until you get your Switch 2, if you do have a pre-order ready or if you're planning on getting one. Um, because it will put all of your data into like a cloud somewhere, and you won't be able to get it back until you transfer it to a different Switch. So I would not do that. Yeah, the eShop does feel like it's really running on a really slow internet browser. Um, Thankfully, from what the footage we've seen of the Switch 2 eShop, it looks a lot better. Um, I'm excited to I'm excited just to like try that out. Um, but yeah, we got like a huge update, version 20 for Switch One. I'm sure we'll get some other updates later as well after the Switch 2 comes out. But this is just like adding the virtual game cards, which they talked about before, and game share to be compatible with like Switch 2 stuff. So yeah. So let's move on to some rumors and also like uncovered stuff. So here's something that Nash Weedle said um, about Um, Metroid Prime 5 is apparently being developed concurrently with Metroid Prime 4. Um, and there's a little bit of a grain of salt though with this. And saying that Metroid Prime 5 will use like new control mechanics with the Switch 2 hardware. Um, this would explain a bit for why it's been taking so long. Is that they wanted to develop more than just Prime 4 um to develop 5, like close to it. Um, so that way later on, like in a couple of years after the Switch is already out, we can have Prime 5 come out. Um, yeah, it would explain the long development. And so far from what we've seen of Prime 4 looks amazing. Um, like I watched some of it in the 4K upload on my TV downstairs, and that it looks really great. Though even like with that, like you can't really tell until you have it in front of you playing on your system. Um, so I hope this is true, but right now it's just a rumor. But it's saying it's going to be released in 2027 for Metro Prime 5, if there is a Prime 5. I guess we just have to wait next year. Like if they announce like Prime 5 next year, um, then this rumor would be true. Um, And also it depends on what happens at the end of Prime 4. If there's like a cliffhanger at the end of Prime 4, that's pretty much guaranteeing they're going to be making another one. So we'll see. I hope it's true though. Um, so we have some dev kits that or dev builds that leaked out from some Switch stuff, and there's some major stuff in here. Um, there's some the list here has like old Splatoon 2 debug builds, Rhyme, that game, if you remember that. Um, an unreleased Lego Civilization game, which sounds crazy. That'd actually be pretty cool. Um, an unreleased Ridge Racer prototype, um, an ARMS debug build. But the big thing here, the big thing is what Retro Studios was working on. Um, they were working on a game called Project Harmony, and I guess they just kind of scrapped it because Nintendo's like, "Hey, Metro Prime 4 isn't working out. We need you to work on that." So they're like, "Okay, well, scrap everything we were working on." But yeah, there's actually gameplay footage. So you can see some of it here. Yeah, this is Project Harmony. They had like a whole like title screen and everything ready. But it would have been a Retro Studios own original IP. So it's unfortunate that they but yeah, it was like very basic with the builds they had here. There's like not really any environment. It was just like, you know, testing with like the movement and stuff. So you did have the green screen to put in Shrek. That'd be funny. But yeah, it looks like the main character would like use like different like creatures and stuff. So it's very interesting that they that this was uncovered. But that's not the only thing that was uncovered over the past month. There was a Mario Virtual Boy game that was uncovered. There's screenshots of it. I don't know if like it was like a complete game that they just never released. But you can see it seems like it was like a game that was meant to be uh have like I guess Wario as the villain again, because you can see Wario's face in the back here. Um and probably like I don't know if this like changed into Wario Land, Virtual Boy Wario Land. Um but this would have been interesting because there's also like top down segments here that looks like Zelda. Um but yeah, who knows if this was like an actual completed game. Um if it is, that'd be cool if that was like somehow uncovered and released. Speaking of being uncovered and released, um remember Dinosaur Planet? So Dinosaur Planet was uncovered and released by like people who found it. Um like the original build, but it just got recompiled into a PC version. Um so it has like its own like PC port basically now. Um and I do want to like try this out at some point. But yeah, it has like different modes here with the graphics and everything. How they recompiled it. Yeah, this is what became Star Fox Adventures. Was Dinosaur Planet. But Dinosaur Planet was like, you know, it had its own original characters. Like Crystal was like the original character here. Um, and whoever this was, who was not Fox. But yeah, it got recompiled, which is really cool. Um, so next thing here, a lot of people were speculating, like, after we saw Donkey Kong's redesign and, like, his new game and everything, people were like, "Hey, where's Diddy Kong? Like, did he disappear? Do people not want Diddy Kong anymore?" But no, no, they just hadn't, like, shown the redesign of him. And here's his redesign. So he's slightly different. He doesn't look quite as different as DK does, maybe because of the eyes. However, if you look very closely, there is a little like there's like a little slit of skin like between his eyes. Um so he doesn't have Sonic eyes anymore. Um his feet or his toes are a little smaller. Like has a bit of a shorter tail. His hat doesn't have the Nintendo logo on it anymore. He just has a little pin that says DK. Yeah, I do wonder if he's gonna be in Bonanza. If not, he's probably gonna be a racer in Mario Kart. But yeah, here's the comparison here. Um, so this is the old design. Yeah, you can see like they gave him the teeth. He has teeth now, but after looking at this, it's kind of weird that he doesn't have teeth in his old design. But yeah, yeah, toes looks slightly different. So this is like more of the rareware design a little bit. That they were sticking with for a long time. So he's like slightly changed here. Um, but yeah, people had nothing to worry about. Diddy Kong wasn't going anywhere. He was just being redesigned. All right. Let's move on to Genki. So Genki was one of the accessory manufacturers that um leaked a lot of the Switch 2 stuff before it was revealed. Um, saying that like they had like dimensions and everything. Um, and like Nintendo's like, "Hey, we're gonna sue you." Like, for that, because, yeah, it people were wondering, it's like, how did they get the dimensions of the console? Did they steal it? Did they buy it off the black market? Like, that was rumored to like, what did they do? But yeah, this is like, from Genki, saying a note from the Genki team, "You may have seen that Nintendo recently filed a lawsuit against us. We're taking it seriously and working with legal counsel to respond thoughtfully. We say is this: Genki has always been an independent company that focused on building innovative um, gaming accessories for the community we love. We are proud of the work we've done, and we stand by the quality and originality of our products. While we can't comment in detail, we're continuing preparations to fulfill orders and showcase our newest products at PAX East this week. We're grateful for overwhelming support we've received so far. We'll share more when we can, but for now, we're staying focused on doing what we do best, building gear for gamers. Um, so it is kind of weird that like this was one of the only uh console or accessory manufacturers that had anything for the Switch 2. Um, before it was even like revealed. Because remember this they were showing this at like was it CES? It was it was at CES when it happened, and that was before Nintendo dropped the video for the Switch 2. Before they dropped the Switch 2 trailer. Um, so Nintendo's like looking at the side. I was like, how did you get that? How did you get that? We haven't sent anything out to our. You weren't like on. I guess they weren't on their list of like manufacturers for accessories. So interesting. We'll see where it goes. Um, next thing. So there's a bunch of like comparisons coming out for like the Switch 2, some of the third party Switch 2 games, uh, and like the versions on PS4 and PS5 and a bunch of stuff like that. Um, but Cyberpunk, 2077, that's going to be like it all in on the cartridge and stuff. It's going to have cross progression with other versions of the game. So it's gonna have cross progression with like the PC version, um, which is very interesting. Um, and they showed a comparison here, or somebody put a comparison together here from uh Psyche, Psyche One on YouTube. But yeah, here's the PS4 Pro versus Switch 2. What's interesting about the PS4 Pro compared to the Switch 2 version is that PS4 Pro, if you remember Phantom Liberty, the Phantom Liberty, the uh the expansion for Cyberpunk 2077 is not on base PS4 or not on PS4 Pro either. It's not on the PS4 version. It's only on the PS5 version. But the Switch 2 version is getting the Phantom Liberty DLC. But yeah, here's like just a screenshot. And the thing is, like, they can only really use the trailer at the moment rather than like from the game itself. So even these comparisons are like hard to like tell until we actually have the game like in our hands. But yeah, this is PS4 Pro, but then there's the PS5 and PS5 Pro, which that's gonna be look the best other than like PC. Yeah, most people are not gonna be able to tell the difference, like especially if you're just like playing it without them side by side. So yeah, it's like PS5 Pro, like, and anything like on PC is gonna be better, but no, you can see like blurriness and stuff there, but again, this is only from the trailer, so it's really hard to tell. Why don't you come? Yeah, yeah, the whole the Cyberpunk alert. Hope Cyberpunk doesn't make the Switch 2 explode like the PS4 did. Yeah, I mean, people played it at the Switch 2 events, so that's still like a thing that's going on here. But yeah, there's a PS5 Pro comparison, which Pro is obviously going to look better. But even like the PS5 like version, like it's a little bit blurry, but you wouldn't really be able to tell unless you like put them side by side. That's the thing. So let's move on to the next couple things. Um, so speaking of like the third party stuff, um, Elden Ring, um, that will the Tarnished edition is actually going to be featuring some new content in it. Which is going to have like new like classes and stuff and whatever. Um but that's going to be like, for every console with the Tarnished edition because it'll have like uh the DLC and stuff with it too, with a Shadow of the Erdtree. Um Next, so we got updates about the upgrade packs. Before during the last episode we didn't know like how much the upgrade packs would cost. The upgrade packs for Zelda, both Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, they're $10, which people kind of figured it would be like, oh yeah, so like a $10 upgrade. $20 for anything that's like Jamboree TV or like the Kirby and the Forgotten Land stuff. Um, since that's like a whole new like campaign and stuff. Um, But for this also, you will be able to get the upgrades for free if you have an NSO plus expansion pack. Um, so for those, let's see what. Oh, okay, yeah, I was gonna look at this. The other thing, we got updates about the free updates. So before, we knew there was gonna be some like free updates for like Switch One games, and for the list of Switch One games, because there were like 12 Switch One games, um, that said they were gonna be getting free updates, and there's probably gonna be more after launch as well. Um, but the ones we know so far are Arms, Big Brain Academy, Captain Toad, Clubhouse Games, Game Builder Garage, New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, uh, Scarlet and Violet, Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, Super Mario Odyssey, and both of the top-down Zelda games with Echoes of Wisdom and Link's Awakening. So recently, like in a couple of days ago, I believe, um, they showed like what these updates will entail now. Um, so a lot of them are like optimized visuals for like higher resolution, um, some HDR support for some of them. Um, uh, some of them have like stuff for game share or like more like more players or whatever. Excuse me, gotta drink some water here. Uh, so yeah, HDR support for a lot of these, and some other updates. This one was interesting because I saw this one on the list and I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna put a mouse control for this one. Because Game Builder Garage, that's like a simple little game where you can like build your own games. Um, but yeah, has supports the mouse controls for this one. Um, and then yeah, here's the big one: Scarlet and Violet frame rate improved, smoother movement on Nintendo Switch 2. But yeah, it also has optimized visuals and stuff. And there was actually some screenshots that were posted. Though it's kind of hard to tell. Like, I need to see it in movement. It looks a little cleaner in those screenshots. But other than that, um I this is one of the first things I want to play as far as like Switch 1 games go to make sure like it plays a lot better. Um this one's interesting here with the 3D World and Bowser Fury because it has it says that only Bowser's Fury has HDR support, which I don't understand. But I mean, I guess sure, why? Well, why not? Um I might play through Bowser's Fury again just to see how good it looks. Um Mario Odyssey has some stuff, and also Exos of Wisdom and Link's Awakening. So people were kind of confused by this because it didn't list the frame rate thing like with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The thing is with Echoes of Wisdom and Link's Awakening, they already have uncapped frame rates. Um, it's just, or they were already like targeting 60 FPS. It's just that the game slowed down because like it couldn't run well enough. Um, so when it with the extra power of the Switch 2, it'll probably just run just fine. For Echoes of Wisdom and Link's Awakening. All right, another comparison I want to see here. Oh yeah, here's the console comparison here that I looked at. As far as like the comparison to like the original model and the Switch 2. Um, with like the differences here. I didn't want to like go over this too much, but just like a little model that a little chart that somebody made. Um, I'm a bit scatterbrained here because I put a lot of articles. Um, yeah, it is thicker. Well, no, it's not. No, same thickness. Remember, like bigger screen, same thickness. That's what they said in the direct. Um, all right, so I'm gonna go watch a video here to rest my voice for a bit. With good vibes gaming. Um, with John going over some of the pro- comparisons between the load times, visuals, and frame rates from what they've seen so far. Um, in the direct and like compared to like the original games and stuff or the Switch 2 editions. So let's watch that for a bit while I rest my voice.
Hey everyone, John here. And we have hours and hours of raw 4K Switch 2 gameplay from Nintendo Treehouse. And rather than waiting until launch to directly compare these things, I thought, why not do it right now? We can take these clips, compare them to the Switch 1 counterparts, and see just how much differs. So let's start off with load times. And the Treehouse kinda did this first one for us. This is Breath of the Wild. I'm just going to add in a timer countdown so you can see exactly how long it really takes. And as you can see right here, the Switch 2 version loads in 3.04 seconds, whereas the Switch 1 version loads in 9.03 seconds. Although, I'm measuring from where the animation stops, this may actually load faster than it seems to, because the load bar just zooms off around 2.07 seconds in, so technically this might take just 2 seconds to load. Now, our next comparison was in the Direct itself, but Nintendo cut off the comparison early, so you don't really see how long Yoshi's Crafted World actually takes to load on Switch 1 versus Switch 2. And the answer is 4.22 seconds on Switch 2 and 8.04 seconds on Switch 1. And this one's really interesting because there's no Crafted World patch that we know of, so this might be a raw, backwards compatible, unpatched game. And we're seeing here there are improvements to performance. Kirby and the
Yeah, that'll show us that like any like loading for Switch 1 games is probably gonna be faster by default. Just because of like the faster
Forgotten
performance
Land doesn't
of the
really
console.
change. This game already loaded very fast. It's 2.03 seconds on the Switch 2 and 2.11 seconds for Switch 1. And that's just for loading a level. When going into a mid-level transition, it's 1.24 seconds for Switch 2 and 2.05
That's kind of
seconds
crazy,
for
like
Switch
how
1.
optimized
And
Kirby
again,
already
a lot of this
was.
may be tied to the animation. It's hard to say exactly how fast the Switch 2 is really loading this, but it just blasts straight through it. And the same is true for Mario Party Jamboree. 1.16 seconds for loading a minigame on Switch 2.
Linky, thank you for the streak. Switch 2 load times make Switch 1 load times look like Crash Bandicoot or the rest of Cortez load times. Oh my god.
And while Mario Kart World doesn't have a direct Switch 1 counterpart, it loads in 4.24 seconds, whereas Mario Kart 8 Deluxe takes 8.24 seconds. But we're not quite done with load times, because Tears of the Kingdom has quite a large upgrade. And this is going to seem really small if you haven't played the game, but whenever you fuse something to your bow in Tears of the Kingdom, there's a 0.09 second stutter. That sounds tiny, but you feel it every time you try and equip something. And in the Switch 2 version, it's gone. Like, just watch these clips over and over again. I'll keep looping them. And just watch one side, and then watch the other side. Watch one side, watch the other side. You can feel and see the difference quite drastically. But when it comes to the visuals themselves, Super Mario Party Jamboree might be the most drastically different looking game. This is likely just down to their HDR
Yeah, this one I wasn't even aware of.
So
about like how the colors look a lot different in a
Jamboree. It's just a night and day difference compared to the Switch version. This is running at 1440p at 60 FPS. Now with Kirby and the Forgotten Land, they only showed the new remix level stuff, so nothing directly comparable to the Switch game. However, there is something major in Forgotten Land. First off, we're going 1440p 60 FPS, which is double the frame rate. But if you've played Forgotten Land on Switch, you will know
Crash Bandicoot looks different, yeah.
Frame rate. It was 30 FPS there, but if enemies were a few meters away from Kirby, they would go to half rate, and just look how soon this kicks in. However, on Switch 2, this doesn't appear to be the case. Look at this enemy way off over there. Okay, way off in the distance, so far from Kirby, and they appear to be operating at full 60 FPS. So it's not just double the frame rate, this is a big change to how Forgotten Land even operates. Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, there were a lot of games that did that,
also run at
where they had like
60 FPS, and the huge difference
characters in the
is
background
in
that like ran at a lower frame rate until you got close to them.
The biggest stress point of Breath of the Wild, and Switch 2 is just powering through it. whereas Switch 1 is having a bit of a harder time. And while these two aren't really comparable,
Yeah, the
Donkey
Korok
Kong
Forest.
Bonanza is clearly built off Odyssey, and the photo mode is the exact same, so let's compare that. So, those are the main technical advancements that I spotted. And I'm going to stop yapping and leave you with a bunch of comparisons, starting with Metroid Prime 4, which is compared to last year's Switch 1 trailer. That is likely an old build now, that Switch 1 version is most likely better than it was back then, but still we can directly compare the two. Everything else is going to be Treehouse versus Switch 1. Have fun, everyone!
Yeah, this right here might just be like they were like polishing up things, because like this was from the trailer from last year. Yeah, I'm so excited for Metroid Prime 4. But yeah, there's a bunch of different comparisons here, but we'll continue on. Um, so let me put my music back on while I bring up the next few articles. Um, oh yeah, I'm getting the Switch 2 version of Prime 4. Um, so pre-orders. I got a pre-order. Uh, before when I was going to have this podcast, I did have an article here about GameStop getting about around 100 Switches. I know that a lot of got between like 60 and 80. I believe the one that Tommy and Steph got theirs at, what they had like 50, 60 or so or whatever. Or it might have been more than that. Um, but I posted a link here, or not a link. I posted a screenshot of an email that I got um where I actually got an email saying like, "Hey, um it's your turn to pre-order now." Um and they give me until today, actually, when I'm recording this, um to pre-order it. But I already have my pre-order from Best Buy, so I assume that after this like deadline, it'll just go to the next person. Um so, yeah. Uh if you signed up for the Nintendo store uh to be hopeful for a pre-order, check your email. I know Rena in chat was able to get one. Um, because I know some people weren't able to get through Best Buy or GameStop or Walmart or Target. So I know that Costco is also going to be um having them on release day, and also GameStop and Best Buy are going to be having some consoles available at launch on launch day. Um, for that midnight launch. Because I saw that GameStop posted about it. Best Buy updated their site saying like, "Hey, we're going to have some extras on release day." So too late. Yeah, too late for Toys R Us. Not around. Not around. Unless you want to go into a Macy's. The moment you said I got the email on Tommy's stream, I checked my email and lo and behold, it was there. Oh wow. All right. Um. So this is just something interesting I thought was cool. Um. There was a speedrunner, a Breath of the Wild speedrunner, that went to one of the Switch 2 events, in Tokyo. Uh, and he beat the game in 15 minutes. At the Switch 2 event, he beat Breath of the Wild, the Switch 2 edition. Um, but yeah, he I just thought that was really cool. Like, oh yeah, speedrunner went to the Switch 2 event, beat the game in 15 minutes for the his allotted time. And yeah, the demo is restricted to like 20 minutes. So
And
he was
then
going
they
to try
kicked
to.
him out. The end.
That makes him the hero of time now. Yeah, but yeah, I thought that was cool. Um, so here's a thing that I that I saw that had people very, very, like, kind of up in arms about things. Um, and I don't think people understand. Uh, so because this was a whole thing that was talked about, saying Nintendo could brick Switch systems if users bypass, modify, defeat, tamper with, or their games in an updated agreement. So the thing is, this isn't actually new. Um, this has been in like end user license agreements. Um, pretty much since game consoles have been able to go online. Um, real question: why would you want to mod your Switch to? Yeah. Um, the thing is, like, people mod like consoles all the time. Um, but there is a risk to it. There is a massive risk to it because you could break your console, or like the company that owns the console could be like, "Hey, we're gonna like ban your account or whatever." Um, that's why if you're gonna mod a console you don't want, or that you know that you want to specifically for modding. Um, like people do that with like Xboxes and PlayStations and everything. Um, so I don't get why people were so upset at this because it's been in the user license agreement since like at least the Wii. For Nintendo, and it's been in like all the other console manufacturers and in user license agreements for a very long time. So I don't get why this became like a huge thing. It was pre Wii, yeah, even before then. So I was very confused about like why why people like got so upset at this when like it's always been a thing. Um, next, all right, let's talk about price. Let's talk about prices and tariffs and a bunch of things, and a bunch of stuff has happened like since then when I added this stuff. Um, so we got a response from the ESA, um, which if you don't know who that is, they used to run A3. Um, but yeah, the ESA responded to the Trump tariffs saying, uh, if we think it's just a Switch 2, then we aren't taking it seriously. And later on in the show, we'll see it wasn't just that. Um, but yeah, this I talked about this at the end of the last podcast as well, about how like a bunch of the companies came together to like sign a thing for the government or whatever, or sign a letter to the government. Um, but yeah, it's already been affecting things, and like it hasn't even like completely gone through yet. Like even as I added this like article here, um, it already changed again. Like it went from like a 145% tariff on China down to 30%, for 30 days now. Or not 30 days, 90 days. Because there's like a 90-day pause on the tariffs of where like, 10% blanket tariff on like every country or whatever. But like 145% on China. And then they're like, wait a minute, never mind. It's gonna be 30%. So it's like, wow, okay. Um, that's still bad. Um, and just so you're aware, I'm not like very well versed in a lot of this stuff. I just know that it's bad. um, but yeah, it had already affected a lot of things. Um, because one of the things that happened is that the uh the prices of accessories went up for the Switch. And they directly, cited tariffs as being a a part of the reason that they went up. Um, and here it is right here. So, it's remaining the same for the consoles at least and the games. Those are the same prices that they announced them as. However, the accessories went up by like $5 to $10. Um, the Joy-Con 2 pair went up um by $5. The Pro controller went up by $5. Um, a bunch of stuff went up like slightly. Um, so that's very unfortunate. But I'd rather them like raise those than raise the console price and the game prices. But that's not the only thing that went up because it doesn't show it here, but Amiibo went up. And that's probably the most what hurts the most because those are already pretty expensive. Especially for the Street Fighter 6 ones because those are like I think they're bigger or like more detailed or whatever. But the Zelda amiibo that came out, let me see if I can find him here. I'm gonna look at the Nintendo store here. Can you look at amiibo? Let me just search amiibo. Can I search release date? Yeah, here we go. So, yeah, here are all the amiibo. Um, so the Zelda amiibo, these were originally going to be $19.99. Now they're $30. That is a lot for an amiibo. Do you know how much amiibo cost when they came out? They came out at like $13. And then they went up to like 16.
My mom!
And then they went up to
My
19.
mom!
Or it went up to like 20. It depended on the character and like the molding and everything. And like these are like very good molds and everything. These look very good. However, $30 good? I don't know.
My mom!
But and also the Street Fighter cards, there's like 40 for those cards. But yeah, the Street Fighter ones, those went up to $40, which is crazy. I mean, they were already pretty expensive by being
My
$30.
mom!
My Uncle John, yeah. But yeah, those are probably hit the most by the tariff changes. Like the accessories went up, but also the amiibo went up by quite a bit. All right. Another thing that was affected, 8-bit dough or 8-bit do. I have no idea how you're actually supposed to say it. Um, I just see a lot of people say 8-bit dough. Um, they're no longer going to be shipping to the U.S. Um, from China due to the tariffs. Um, and I know a lot of people are fans of these controllers. Dough, yeah. So I don't know if that's going to be changing because like
Is
at
this
the time
fishbowl at PetSmart going to be affected by the tariffs?
we're not in a PetSmart. We're in the ocean. We're not affected at all. We're not part of any country. We're in the international waters. That's how far out we are, by the way. Um. Anyway. Um. Anyway, yeah, 8-bit dough. They're not shipping to the U.S. At least not at the time of this writing of this article. Because like things have changed. Things have changed. Because like they changed from the China tariffs are down to 30%. So I don't know if they're going to change what 8-bit dough is going to do. Um, we'll see. Um, the next thing, uh, Xbox. That's the big one. Xbox is raising their prices because a lot of their consoles are shipped um from China because a lot of their manufacturing is there. Um, so Xbox Yeah. The Series S, which this is actually the one that I have. Um, it went up from $300 to $379, so a $180 increase. The 1 terabyte one went up $80. Oh wait, no, not 170. No, I'm stupid. No, it went up $80. These both went up $80. Um, the Series X digital went up $100. The regular Series X went up $100, and the 2 terabyte special edition um went up $130. Um, and these haven't changed. Though it really depends on the color and the pricing at a retail store. But some of these accessories went up. The Elite controllers went up. The wireless headset went up. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like Sony has raised the price of the PS5 in like other regions, like multiple times at this point. Um, and they're doing it again. Uh, it just hasn't. They haven't done it in the US yet, but they might, especially after Xbox did it. Um, and yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna have after that. The PS5 to raise its price in Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. So yeah, in Europe, the digital edition, digital edition of the PS5, $500. In UK, it's 430 pounds. Um, in Australia, it's 830 Australian dollars. With the disc drive, 750. Just digital edition. New Zealand, 900, nearly nearing $1,000, nearing 1,000 New Zealand dollars. That's crazy. My ass ain't worth $500. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, the PS5 going up in price in other regions, and it may go up in the US. We don't know yet because like Xbox did theirs, so that might give the go ahead for like Sony to be like, okay, we're gonna raise ours now. Um, but we'll see. Like I said, the tariffs are changing like all the time. Um, now it's a 30% on 90 days, so we'll see what happens after that. I don't know like when that was started, it's implemented. I don't know when that 90 days is supposed to end. But we'll see. Yeah, tariffs are supposed to affect film productions. It's like you're putting a tariff on movies. What the fuck? It's so weird. Like, are you just putting tariffs on anything, everything, anything because you can? It's really dumb. Like, it's this is like literally the dumbest timeline. Um. All right, enough about uh tariffs and pricing stuff. Um. Let's look at some games and junk and talk about some of the controversy of one of them. Um. So we got the Marathon gameplay reveal trailer. Let me take a swig of water while you watch this.
The end of all things.
Excuse me.
But the dream is not over. My dream. Yours. Now. Run.
So that's cool, I guess. But I'm not really into like shooters like that. However, however, something kind of happened. Uh, Also, what happened to my music here? All right, so something kind of happened. Um, Bungie got caught stealing art. This is the artist here. Anti-real. Uh, and they have proof. They have proof that Bungie just straight up stole their art here, their art assets. Um, and it's like, oh yeah, it's just like shapes and whatever. But no, there's like some of the icons here. Like, well, you can't see it; it's cut off. Hold on. Here, I'll open another tab here so you can see it a bit better. So these icons here, those are the same. Those are the same icons there that they made. Um, yeah, and that's another thing here. There's a there's another like post of here. But yeah, this like Aleph, what it says here, this is the exact same of what this graphic designer anti-real. Um, there's also like a signed one that's not here. Oh yeah, bunch of this stuff. Um, that's also in the game. But yeah, here I want to show you a video that Critical made, um, of like going over the the whole situation, um, because it's kind of crazy. But yeah, here, let's watch Critical for a bit. Again, man, my voice is like hurting. All right.
It has been a rough month for Bungie. They are struggling right now, looking like me trying to reach the top shelf in my pantry. I just made a video covering the lawsuit that they are getting spanked in. That's a little exaggeratory, but it is a very messy lawsuit where they're being accused of stealing for their Red War campaign as well as Curse of Osiris, and they can't actually fight back against those claims because they vaulted that content and no longer can access it themselves. It is just banished to the Shadow Realm. They can't access
Why is
it.
Charlie
So
not
instead,
playing White
they've been
Teeth? Yeah.
relying on YouTubers' videos and lore breakdown as evidence to prove they didn't steal from this other writer's work. But the judge biblically smacked that down, saying that it will not be accepted. So they're not accepting the YouTube videos, and Bungie themselves can't access the content. So I don't know what the fuck they're going to do about that lawsuit right now, all because they can't stop vaulting content. They're addicted to it. And now today, it has just come out that they have plagiarized another artist's work for Marathon. And it's a lot. And it's also not just claims of plagiarism.
Didn't they just
It's not
think nobody would
baseless
notice? Yeah.
accusations all around like something really small or trivial that you kind of have to like squint your eyes at and be like, oh, I can kind of see a similarity. It's not like they just stole like, you know, a big Chungus shape from somebody without crediting the artist. They stole so much directly from an artist named Anti-Real. And they have also now come forward, the Marathon dev team have come forward and said that, yeah, it is indeed confirmed they did steal some of that art, but they're downplaying how much of it was plagiarized and kind of pushing the blame on a former employee. So we're going to go through this together because I think it's a lot bigger than they are making it seem. So this was the post that just blew up last night. The Marathon Alpha released recently and its environments are covered with assets lifted from poster designs I made in 2017. The side-by-sides that she provides are damning. So on the right you can see her poster, and on the left you can see the Marathon Alpha. You can see Aleph is lifted directly from her poster and just copied multiple times in the Marathon Alpha. Is the same song and dance here with another piece of evidence that she provides. You can see the arrows copy and pasted, but they were actually flipped here, which is the most effort that they went through with this plagiarism. Like copying the homework but trying to make it look a little different. They changed the orientation of the arrows. But then everything else, they didn't even bother trying to make even slight alterations. The symbols are pretty much exact, except for the first symbol there is like in a different direction, but it's still the exact same symbol. They just made it do like little 360s. It is very clear that they took these designs and just copied them into their game. This one is the most shameless, where you can see a tweet from Anti-Real back in June of 2024 saying, I hid loss
Yeah.
in my designs 6 years ago and nobody caught on.
This one's
And
crazy.
then here's a new post from someone in the alpha saying, here from the future, if anyone doubts the theft of your art, this also confirms it. And it's a screenshot in Marathon, and you can see loss. Now, if you don't know what that symbol is, it's a meme. I'm sure you've at least heard of the meme, loss. So Anti-Real's saying that in her art, she hid that. And then in Marathon, it just magically turns up. And you know, it's kind of a little bit of an odd coinky-dink. You know what I'm saying? I've also seen this one floating around, which is completely indefensible. no
Yeah,
matter
this one
how
this one's
blatant-
the craziest one because it's like it literally has their username on it. Anti-real. Like it's right there.
dead and determined you are to defend Marathon. There is no mental gymnastics you could possibly use to explain this away. On the right, you can see Anti-Real's poster from the Anti-Real Daily Series, and on the left, you can see Marathon, and you can literally still see it say Anti-Real Daily Series in that green box. They changed the colors but kept everything the same, including the text that says Anti-Real Daily Series. They just tried to cover it very
Concord
loosely,
walks,
very
so Marathon
lazily, but
can
you could
flop
still
even
make it
harder.
out.
Yeah.
Worth mentioning that it's not like they just took her art and then used it in one spot, one time, hidden, you know, off the beaten path at like a little Easter egg behind a dumpster. We have to spin around 4 times and then you get to see what they plagiarized. No, this is art that they stole and used frequently throughout the game. It is a core part of the design, and you see them a lot in the alpha. Apparently, I didn't play the alpha because I'm not really interested in the game. There are so many screenshots in so many places that all of this shows up, and they never paid her for her work. They didn't give her any kind of, you know, credit for it. Nothing at all. And also, there are numerous Bungie employees that follow her account. Like, there
Yeah.
are people on the Bungie team that follow her account. It's not like they just didn't know about her, and they're not even trying to hide the fact that they did know her art. So it's pretty clear cut here. Now, Anti-Real said, Bungie is of course not obligated to hire me when making a game that draws overwhelmingly from the same design language I have refined for the last decade, but clearly my work was good enough to pillage for ideas and plaster all over their game without pay or attribution. In 10 years, I have never made a consistent income from this work, and I am tired of designers from huge companies mood boarding and parasiting my designs while I struggle to make a living. It's more than mood boarding, though. Clearly, they did just directly
Yeah, they had
steal the
followed her
artwork
before
from
Marathon.
her, and they very easily could have hired her. If they loved her design language that she had refined, and they wanted to use it to help steer the aesthetic of the game and use it in the game, they could have absolutely hired her. Or, at the very least, paid her for the work. You know, the legal correct thing to do here. It's just craziness. They instead just ripped it. 1-to-1, just ripped it with no alterations or anything. And that then calls into question this whole aesthetic that Marathon has. One of the main things people would praise for Marathon, a lot of people I know hated the alpha. It wasn't received overly well from what I saw. But the one thing that remained consistent is that a lot of players really liked the look of the game. And now this comes out, it really feels like the look of the game is stolen from other artists' work. Like, that's now the perception a lot of people have. It's just so fried. I just can't believe how blatant this plagiarism was. Now, as I mentioned, the Marathon dev team did make a statement. We immediately investigated a concern regarding unauthorized use of artist decals in Marathon and confirmed that a former Bungie artist included these in a texture sheet that was ultimately used in-game. Very convenient that it was a former Bungie artist, even though there's still current Bungie employees following this same account. Calls into question the legitimacy of that claim that this is all just some, like, rogue operative that, you know, became a loose cannon and went off book and stole this work without us knowing. The issue was unknown by our existing art team, and we are still reviewing how this oversight occurred. We take matters like this very seriously. We have reached out to Anti-Real to discuss this issue and are committed to doing right by the artist. As a matter of policy, we do not use the work of artists without their permission. Well, not only a matter of policy, that's a matter of law. You can't just steal people's work like that. Yeah, I don't know why they try to, like, play this moral high ground. We would never do this. It is part of our mission statement. When you walk into the Bungie HQ, it says, "We shall not steal." And it's what sets us apart from the rest of the industry. To prevent similar issues in the future, we are conducting a thorough review of our in-game assets, specifically those done by the former Bungie artist, and implementing stricter checks to document all artist contributions. We value the creativity and dedication of all artists who contribute to our games, and we are committed to doing right by them. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. As other outlets have mentioned, this is not the first time Bungie has stolen art. It happened in Destiny 2 as well, so they do have a history of doing it occasionally, but to this scale is unheard of. This is probably one of the larger instances of just blatant plagiarism I've seen from a AAA game. It is egregious. And what's mind-boggling to me is I went into the comments there on those tweets, and there are people defending it saying that it's just, a coincidence. Anti-Real doesn't own the corporate brutalist style. This is ridiculous. What are you guys even apologizing for? They're actually just shutting out reality. It's not like they just drew inspiration from Anti-Real's brutalist style. They literally took it and copy and pasted it without their permission.
Yeah, it's a
They
copy
didn't pay
paste.
for it. They didn't even credit the artist. That is not legal. You can't do that. And yet there's still people just, plugging their ears to it in order to continue to shill Marathon on Twitter. Blows my mind. It is indefensible. No matter how you spin it, they stole that work. And they are openly saying that they did steal that work and downplaying the severity the severity of how much was taken. I think it's a lot more than they're letting on here, because you can see tons of screenshots from tons of different examples. Unless that former Bungie employee that they're pinning it all on was like a really higher up on the food chain here that was responsible for a ton of the art in the game, it really feels like it's probably more than just that person, because there is a lot. Anyway, though, just another bad day for Bungie here. They're really they're going through it right now, and it's all entirely their own fault, really. That lawsuit, that could have been handled pretty quickly if they didn't just constantly vault content that people paid money for, taking away people's access to it, including their own access to it. That's on them. Stealing other people's art, that's also on them. It's entirely Bungie's fault for all the problems they're facing right now. Shit's crazy. That's about it. So yeah.
Yeah. So this is so weird. Like, because I believe a lot of the people that worked on the original Halo games are just not at Bungie anymore. I think it's the same deal with Retro Studios. However, Retro Studios hired a lot of new talent that seems like they're doing a lot of good. But for Bungie, it I saw somebody in the comments of Charlie's video saying um when you see Bungie's logo at the beginning of a game, is from the people who brought you Halo. It's not from the people who brought you Halo. It's from the logo that brought you Halo. It's not the people anymore. At least it's thematic. Bungie jumped and is hurtling towards the ground. Wow. But yeah. We'll see what happens to Marathon. And how Sony responds to it. Because Sony's also doing the Fair Games thing, another live service game. So are all these gonna fail? Did Sony just waste all of their money? Concord was one of the biggest ones. Who knows how much this cost and how much Fair Games cost? Are they gonna go 3 for 3? So far it seems like it's 2 for 3. If this whole thing with Marathon falls on his face. If this falls on his face with Bungie's name attached and Bungie's name being dragged through the mud right now, Fair Games doesn't have a chance. Anyway, speaking of Sony, you know how Last of Us 2 came out? Or not Last of Us 2. Last of Us Season 2. Season 2 of Last of Us came out. Guess what? There's Last of Us Complete. They needed another collection or another release for Last of Us because Last of Us Season 2 came out.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. No matter what. finding something to fight for.
Y'all wanna guess how much this collection costs? Or Last of Us Complete costs? Y'all wanna guess? It's a re-release of 2 games.
You can't stop this.
It's $109. They couldn't even, like, discount it a little bit. They wanted you to buy, like... People leave. Yeah. So they released a new release of Last of Us with both games. Oh yeah, we're gonna have like a collection of both games. It's gonna cost like $110. Like, okay. I remember when when re-releases of collections of games, they like, you know, were the cost of one game. What the hell? Even so, yeah, I had the PS3 version of the first Last of Us. That's how I first played it. I never played Last of Us 2. I'll play it someday. But yeah. All right. Let's talk about Final Fantasy. This won't be the first or the last we'll be talking about Final Fantasy. But apparently voice recording of Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 is underway. Like Cody Christian, the voice of Cloud right here. He says that he has been in the recording booth for Part 3 of the remake. So I'm very excited. This leads me to believe that it's probably coming out in 2027. For Part 3, because that's going to be the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. Rebirth just came out last year, so I don't think it'll come out next year for Part 3. It could possibly, but I'm placing my bets on 2027, especially for like all the restructuring that Square Enix has been doing lately. I think Part 3 is going to be 2027 for the 30th anniversary. And is something coming before GTA 6? No, that's GTA 6 is going to be coming out before that, probably. So other things I want to do. Some other things that came out. There's a shadow drop of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion had a shadow drop. Oops, I didn't mean to press that. I mean to press this. But yeah, I played Oblivion back in the day on the 360. I never really got into it though. And I've watched some people play it on stream recently.
I've never been.
But I'm not really. I don't know. I don't know if it's just Bethesda games for me.
This is the 27th of last seed. The year of Akatosh, 436.
I might try Skyrim at some point though.
These are the closing days of the
Or New
third
Vegas.
era,
People said I would like New Vegas.
and the final hours of my life.
That is true, Sprintlaw, yeah. They literally showed it. I didn't even catch that in the trailer. Look, the horse armor. The first game to have DLC.
I have seen the
Or
gates
the
of
first game to
Oblivion.
have microtransactions. Not
Beyond
DLC,
which
because there were
no
expansions and stuff
mortal
before.
may see.
But microtransactions, yeah.
This is only the beginning. Worse is yet to come. Looks clear.
But yeah, I played up to like the point where you got to that where Patrick Stewart dies
from the coming darkness.
in that beginning of the game there, and you like go out into the field and stuff. And I played it for a little bit, but I never really got into it. I don't know why. Even though I had it on 360, I just like never felt compelled to like play it more.
Here you must find your own path.
I mean, it looks good. It's like, as far as like visually goes.
Find him.
Also, you play Skyrim, don't accidentally start a war like I did. Oh.
Oblivion.
But yeah, it was Shadow Drops. It came out the same day as Expedition 33, or the same week as Expedition 33. However, Expedition 33 has been getting very good reviews. I did want to like go over that a little bit. So Expedition 33, I might actually be able to get over everything. It's been getting extremely good reviews. It has a 92 on Metacritic right now, and a 9.7 user score, which is crazy. This is a game that it was revealed last year, at Xbox's event. However, it is on PS5 and PC as well. And yeah, one of the reasons I want to play it is because one of the main characters is voiced by Ben Starr, who is the voice of Clive from Final Fantasy 16. But it's just like a high budget turn-based RPG. Looks like people it's being received very well. So very very excited to like play it at some point. I just don't have the time to play it right now. I'm probably gonna play it sometime later this year. But everything I've heard of it, heard from it, it sounds like it's very good. So very happy about that. So not the only remaster that came out. Gears of War Reloaded is coming out this summer. Which is, it's funny because like there's also the Ultimate Edition, which is like another re-release. But this time it's the Gears of War Reloaded, which is at 4K. And you know what's funny about this? It's going multi-platform. Gears of War is a Microsoft franchise or an Xbox franchise. It's been like exclusive to Xbox for a while. And then they start putting stuff on PC because Microsoft owns like Windows. But this is the first time it's coming out to PlayStation 5. Do you know how weird this is? This would be if the thing is like Gears is like Xbox's second. Xbox's first is like Halo. That's their first is Halo for Xbox. Even though like like quality of the games and like opinion of on the franchise itself over the last decade or so has been like mixed. Halo is their first. Gears is their second. This would be like, how Nintendo has Mario as their first, Zelda as their second. This would be like if Nintendo put Zelda on PlayStation. That's how weird this is. That's how weird it is, at least to me. Especially like just like growing up in the growing up in the era of like console wars and everything. So this is strange. What's even stranger, it's getting a physical version on PS5. It is not getting a physical version on Xbox. There's only going to be a physical PS5 disc of Gears of War Reloaded. That's so funny. That's so weird. That like, oh yeah, we're gonna release this game, but we're not gonna put it physical on the console that it's it's originating from. That is so weird. I don't know. Maybe they'll put maybe they'll make a physical version later. But right now, as of right now, only the PS5 is getting a physical version. There's a message at the bottom that says "Thank you to Xbox fans." We scroll. Oh wait, hold on. For Xbox fans, that's a thank you. Yeah, there's like a free upgrade for like people who have Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which was like the last like remaster they did for Gears of War, which was like basically an HD like version of it. But this is gonna be like 4K, like with up-resed everything. So weird. I'm getting for historical sake. Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft just dropped out of the next generation. Yeah. The thing is, like, I think they'll still make consoles, but they'll just put it out on their games on everything. I think Game Pass is like does well enough for them to where they can keep making consoles and just sell Game Pass. But yeah, that's really weird. Speaking of physical games, this also was interesting. So Doom: The Dark Ages came out. However, the physical version of it just has 85 megabytes on the disc. It's literally what a game key card is. Because we talked about those last time with the some of the Switch 2 stuff, where like game key cards would just be like an unlocking of of the game of like, okay, you can just download the game and then have it on your console and then use the game key card to like play it. That's what this is. Like for Doom: The Dark Ages. Um so this isn't new though, cuz like they've had stuff like this before on PS5, but it's so weird cuz like I'm pretty sure you would be able to fit Doom on a disc or Doom: The Dark Ages on a disc. Like how big is it? Yeah, the same thing happened with Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones at the Great Circle is also it has 20 gigabytes of data, which is a lot more. Which is a lot more on the disc, but Indiana Jones of the Great Circle is also like a huge game as well. So there's a lot more to download. So they had like 20 gigabytes on the disc. However, Doom, I believe I think it's smaller as far as the size goes. I don't see anything about the size here, like how big the game is. It's 130 gigabytes. Okay, that's pretty big. Because I believe the size of like a PS5 disc can be 50 or 100 gigabytes. So into physical copies is getting closer every day. Yeah. So that's just unfortunate. It sucks because like I have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but that has like an install disc and a play disc, where you install like whatever is like on the disc itself. There's like two discs, so it's like actually all there. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Though, if I were to play Doom: The Dark Ages, like I play it on PC anyway. Um. All right. Last of the Xbox stuff, because like Doom is technically Xbox, because they own Bethesda now. So an Xbox branded handheld had photos leaked. It's like the ROG Ally. Um. It has like this. Ew, Twitter. Um, it has like this Xbox button on it. You can kind of see it here, and also look at looks look how grimy this is with all the fingerprints on it. Um, but yeah, they're basically like making an Xbox branded ROG Ally. Um, which I guess is just gonna like run on like the Xbox OS, or maybe it'll have like some kind of Xbox integration into it. Um, I don't think this is actually going to be like, officially uh the Xbox handheld. This is just like a partnership. Yeah. Yeah, it's not the Xbox handheld. This is just like a rebranded ROG Ally. Not a fan of the D-pads? Yeah, the D-pads don't look great. But yeah. Yeah, those fingerprints don't help. Well, in that article. Um, so this is just like a rebranded ROG Ally. Who knows when we'll actually see what Microsoft has planned for a handheld? But this is probably not it. This is probably not like the main thing. This is just like a partnership. One thing Xbox get right for me is a controller. Yeah, I love the Xbox controller. I use that as my PC controller. All right. Now, next thing. Earlier last week, um, we had an announcement from Rockstar saying, "Hey, sorry, GTA 6 is not coming out this year. It's going to come out in 2026." And then like a day later, they just dropped the trailer. They're like they didn't even say anything. They 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 just dropped it. Like after they said, "Hey," after the day before they said, "Hey, we're delaying it to May 26th." So, let's watch the trailer.
What you doing up there?
By the way, does that sound familiar to you? This guy.
What you doing up there?
I'm just fixing some leaks.
Seriously, dude, you got some time on
Yep,
your
that's
hands.
Stephen
I
Root.
got some properties with paying tenants.
Oh, that's why you came
Bill
by?
from King of the Hill.
Just go get me my checks.
See you, Brian. Love you, Jason.
Florida Man, the game? Yeah.
I'm here for Lucia Caminos. She's supposed to be getting out.
What's your name?
Jason Duval.
I seen you here before.
You might have. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, it's Vice City is basically Miami.
Hands above your head, now!
You, stay. The new beginnings.
You break the news, isn't it? Trust me, this place is just the start for us.
Sexy times. Yeah, that's Dana Snyder, the voice of Master Shake. Like when I heard that, I was like, wait a minute, that sounds like Master Shake.
The only thing that
Yeah,
matters
Master Shake.
is who you know and what you got.
Gonna do this? We're doing it right.
Yo, D, this full effect? They got your name, address, they got everything.
Us cops, we gotta protect each other.
You and me, Lou. We got this.
We got it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna see here because like So I recognize those colors because, like, oh, that's like Miami Dolphin colors. They have manatees as the team. Manatees instead of dolphins.
Say Vice City, baby! Vice City, baby!
Come to Fields Ammunition today. We got more guns than the law allows.
Hey.
Ammunition, yeah.
You hook me up, please.
Yeah, so good trailer. Rockstar's really good at trailers. So the whole thing about GTA 6, it's been in development for a long time. There's that huge leak. There's that huge leak of like some of the beta builds or the alpha builds of the game that happened like a couple years back. Um, there was like bunch of screenshots of like a bunch of stuff from Rockstar that leaked. But yeah, it's been in the works for a long time. It's basically been in the works since I don't know if it's been in works since Red Dead Redemption 2 or even before then. But it's been in development for a long time. Because Red Dead Redemption 2 was the previous game that they released. Well, Prince of Misery, thank you for the raid. Is GTA as a franchise not inherently anti-cop with the correct wait, huh? I mean, yeah, it is pretty anti-cop. Yeah. Like if you've played a GTA game, it's very anti-cop. Um But yeah, thank you so much for the raid. I've been doing my podcast talking about like some of the news from the past few weeks. Talking about the Switch 2 release. Now right now we're talking about the GTA 6 stuff. We are going to be talking about the Kingdom Hearts 4 stuff very soon, like after this. But yeah, I did want to go over like because like after they released this trailer, there was also a bunch of the stuff on the website. That looked pretty cool. So I would say I'm a pretty like casual fan of the GTA games. I played my first GTA game I actually played was GTA 4 on the 360. And I did want to play 5, but I didn't play it until it came out on PC much later. And I had watched like my friends play like San Andreas and the PS2 games. I never played them myself, but I played 4 and 5. And I did really enjoy them. I enjoyed the freedom those are like really my first like open world games that I enjoyed playing and just like running around in. Um and I actually enjoyed the stories. Like I really enjoyed the story of GTA 5. Um yeah, and 5 is one of the best-selling games of all time. A lot of it is due to um GTA Online, which I don't care about in the slightest. A lot of people really like GTA Online for a lot of other reasons. Like there's like a whole like GTA roleplay like community like that is on Twitch as well, which I've seen like some people like get into. But yeah, 6 is going back to Vice City. Just going over the characters here. Yeah, GTA roleplay. Yeah. Jason and Lucia are like the two main characters here that I assume you'll like go between. Just like in 3 where you went between Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. But yeah, this is the name of the state, by the way. Leonida, which is basically Florida. Um, in the same way that Los Santos is California in 5. Leonidas? Yeah. I haven't played 4's DLC. I need to. I was always meaning to back in the day, but I never did. See how spicy role playing is in Final Fantasy 14? Yeah. Is it a hot take to say GTA is mid franchise compared to others? I mean, it depends. Like because like I like the GTA games. Um, I haven't really played others that are like it. Because I know there's Saints Row, which is like that's the competitor basically. Um, but like I enjoy what Rockstar did. Yeah, Cal. This is the guy who uh Dennis Snyder, Master Shake's voice is gonna be voicing this guy here. He's like supposed to be like a conspiracy theorist, which is like perfect for like a GTA character. Um, but yeah, we're seeing like a bunch of the locations here. I do want to see the yeah, this Vice City. It's got the yellow backwards hat. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard the Saints Row series kind of like fell off in recent years. Yeah, like GTA doesn't take itself that seriously. Yeah, yeah. Leonida Keys. That's another thing. I want to. Another reason I want to play GTA 6 is because of the location. It's in Florida, and like, look, look. I want to go diving in GTA 6. And also, we saw dolphins in the trailer, like in the first trailer. I just love this aesthetic because, like, I have seen places like this. I've been to places like this. Want to swim with the fishes? Yeah, yeah. Again, the manatee shirt, which is like the Miami Dolphins, but Vice City manatees. There's like the Everglades here, the grass rivers. Then we have like this is like Duck
What do
Dynasty
you think, Crimson?
looking people. Like look at that tan line. Only good thing about Florida is the ecology. Yeah.
Dolphins is fish. Maybe. Depends who you ask.
Wow. Support here. Definitely looks like the more like sleazy area. I mean, more sleazy than usual. Oh yeah, I saw that somebody was talking about how GTA is inspired a lot by um stuff like Miami Vice. And apparently this guy here is like very much based on a character from Miami Vice. Um, as far as like stuff from Vice City and whatever. Um, so that's interesting. Ambrosia, here's the industrial area with biker gangs and stuff. Yeah, and this is the guy that Stephen Root is voicing here. And this is like the least Florida area in the game because it has like some hills and mountains. Yeah, like stuff like this. Yeah, you're not gonna see that in Florida. Maybe upper northern Florida, but not much. Gonna have a not Disneyland there? Maybe. There might be like a knockoff of a Disney World theme park. I know at least in 5 when in the Los Santos area there's like a pier that is like, based on like Santa Monica Pier, which has like, a theme park on it. But yeah. Okay. GTA Disneyland, Shiftyland. Yeah. So, let's talk about the fact that Square Enix has canceled Missing Link. And now it will truly be missing forever. We'll just read this off while the ad break is finishing up. We have made a decision to cancel development of Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. We wish to convey our heartfelt apologies to everyone who has been looking forward to the start of the service. Or start of service. Though we worked hard on developing and adjusting the game in the hope that it would be enjoyed by lots of players, we determined that it would be difficult for us to offer a service that players would find satisfactory over a long period of time, leading us to the decision to cancel development. We would like to take this opportunity to express our thanks to everyone who gave us their support and assistance with multiple closed beta tests. We're truly sorry to make this announcement. The Kingdom Hearts series will continue. We are hard at work on Kingdom Hearts 4, and hope you will continue to support the series as you keep an eye out for further updates. So yeah, unfortunate. But yeah, Missing Link was going to be their new like mobile game. Some people have called it like a Pokemon Go clone or whatever. I'm not exactly. I didn't like participate in any of the closed beta or whatever. But yeah, for Missing Link, unfortunate that was canceled. The composer actually had a lot of stuff for Missing Link, and a lot of the disappointment from fans is because of plot reasons. That there may have been a lot of like important plot that was going to be part of Missing Link, and now we don't know where that's going to be reworked. However, as a consolation prize, we actually got this. Like a little bit later, like a day later, I believe. We got some screenshots for Kingdom Hearts 4. And it's just like a collage of screenshots. Playable Michael Rat, yeah. And Mickey has been playable in Kingdom Hearts before. In a few games. But yeah, we have a screenshot up here of Sora fighting in a Quadratum. We have a picture of a phone here. Not sure exactly why they have just a screenshot of a phone. Wait, is he Sora here? But yeah, in Mickey, like, is in this library. Like, where exactly is this? And is he doing a stealth mission? Like, he doesn't have a weapon drawn. He just has a regular attack. Scala, yeah. Yeah, nice old rotary phone. So, like, what is this rotary phone for? I know I did a discussion with Tommy, the other night, when this happened, and he's definitely a lot more knowledgeable on like Kingdom Hearts stuff than I am. So I suggest you like listen to him about that, and we'll definitely talk about it again if there's like a trailer or something. And there might be a trailer at Summer Game Fest. I don't know, or like sometime soon. Because like I don't know why would they would like put out these screenshots. Maybe we will have like a trailer sometime in the near future. We'll have to see. Yeah, I think Zootopia and Moana are probably a shoo-in for 4. There won't be a oh, I want a Finding Nemo world. All right. That's not it for Square. We're talking about Square right now. Um Did you know Square's teaming up with TBS on a game? Huh? Yeah, what? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, TBS. Yeah, that TBS. The TBS that yeah, shows American Dad. It's TBS television. Oh wait, it's not. That's not that TBS. Never mind. Yeah, Crimson, you were right. It's a Tokyo-based network. Okay. Oh. Oh. Takeshi's Castle, Ultraman, and oh, the Ninja Warrior show. Okay, that's interesting. Do they show American Dad in Japanese? So that's interesting. So I wonder what they're going to be doing. But yeah, it's so weird because their logos look similar too. That's what I thought. I think both of the logos are blue, like the American TBS and like this TBS. Damn, I hate headlines like this. Yeah, Japanese TV network. Oh, wow, I couldn't read. That's my bad. I did hear about the Fortnite using the AI voice for James Earl Jones. That's wow. I've never played Fortnite, but that's bad. All right. Let's move on. So, remember Silk Song? You know Silk Song, right? So, apparently Silk Song is going to be playable at a it's going to be playable at a at an Australian museum in Melbourne. Yeah, like it's listed as like being a playable game at this exhibition. So, like, are we going to get a trailer or like a release date or like some like new information? The last time we saw it was at the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Um, during that sizzle reel, saying like it's still slated for this year. Um, so the fact that it's going to have like a playable version at like an event leads me to believe we'll probably see something this at Summer Game Fest or something this next month. Um, so yeah, maybe. All right. You know what I'm excited about though? You know what I'm excited about? Echo the Dolphin coming back. So there was an interview with the creators of Echo the Dolphin.
Fish.
No. There was an interview with the creators of Echo the Dolphin. Sorry, I was like closing out the tabs. And they said they were going to be remastering the first 2 games, and they're going to be making a 3rd game. So that's really cool. And they actually opened a new website that is counting down. It has bubbles. You can't see it here, but like there's a Oh, Jesus. There's music now? That was super loud. I'm so sorry about that. This didn't have music before. This updated. Oh my god, this is cool. I didn't know they added music to it, to the countdown. And there weren't bubbles here before either. But yeah, it's counting down. It has like over 8,000 hours here. And it's counting down to the 25th of April 2026. So like a year from now. This is the music for stream. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this on. Oh, actually, never mind. I need to actually exit out of it because we do have some other things we're gonna be seeing. But yeah, that's really cool. I never thought we would have Echo come back, but I'm very excited about that. Especially since we're gonna have remasters of the original 2 games. Even though I literally just like played through the original game on stream for my debut-a-thon last year. I do want to play Two Tides of Time and like finally finish that game. But yeah, that's cool that site is actually like counting down. And now it has like bubbles and music on it. Maybe they'll add some more stuff like leading up to the countdown, or leading up to like what day it's counting down to. So there's another game that is coming out for the Switch 2. I believe it's coming out in launch, or it might be later after launch. It's a little game called Mouseworks, which I thought was really cute. It's using mice, or it's using the mouse mode for the Switch 2 as little mini games, and it looks very cute. And it's from the team that made Shovel Knight Dig, from Yacht Club Games. I don't know if they're like still under Yacht Club Games, but like it says it's from that team. But yeah, this looks really cute. But yeah, that was a cute game that I thought was neat. That's also coming out to to Switch 2, like using the mouse controls. All right, another game is coming out, which you actually saw me. You saw me unbox this. Shantae Advance. However, the digital release is coming out, I believe, next month. But here's the console and PC gameplay trailer. But yeah, there's like classic mode and like modern mode. They can do with like the Game Boy Advance graphics or not. Yeah, Way Forward did do that Adventure Time game. Yeah, that's coming out in summer. You know what else is coming out in summer? Gex. Gex gets a release date. Yeah, it's coming out June 16th.
My mom!
No, not your mom. It has a big collector's edition that has a blow-up doll. They specifically says it's a blow-up doll, not inflatable. They just say they said it's oh yeah, it's an inflatable. It's a blow-up doll, like in the description. Though right here it says inflatable Gex doll, but I mean, I'm not getting all this. No fucking the inflatable, please. Yeah. But yeah, let's look at the trailer.
Let's get it on.
I have so many fucking questions. Yeah, 16 by 9.
Boring. Yes. Need it, need it, need it. This looks familiar. In a bad way. Mmm, buttery. How convenient. Those programmers think of everything.
Wasn't even a good game, but here we are. Yeah. It's so funny. Yeah, Gex Trilogy. Alright, let's move on to some other stuff. Let's move on to Pokemon. There's a few Pokemon things. We did discuss Pokemon Scarlet and Violet earlier. But there's a couple things I want to show. There is a book coming out.
Geico 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yep. So there's a Poke Ecology book, and there was also like a short that came out that was I saw it. It's like it's really neat, but it's like very fast. It's a book showing how they live and interact with the Pokemon ecology. It's really cool. I love this little art here with like all the Corsola together. I thought this is really neat. I don't know if there's going to be an English version. Right now, there's just going to be a Japanese release. But this looks really cool. Especially with, like, illustrations like this of, like, Pokemon interacting with each other in different ways. Like, look at the Torterra, where it has, like, the Wormadam and the Kakuna and Metapod, like, hanging off the tree. And what are the... Is that Flabebe? Yeah, like Flabebe on the, on there, and, like, a little wheel on him. Yeah, it's a Pokemon ecology book. I didn't notice the Pikachu in the Pelipper. See, that's really neat. Another thing that's gonna be happening, and I hope I'm able to go to Winnie City PonyCon next year, because the Chicago Film Museum is going to have the Pokemon fossil exhibit. Which is gonna have, like, you know, all the fossil, the life-size, like, fossil stuff that was, like, at the Japanese, like, museum. Yeah, the Pokemon Fossil Museum. There's a few in Japan here, but I think this is the first time that, it's been in the US. Yeah, here's the Japanese video for it. Yeah, the Tyrantum there. Yeah, look at the little Pikachu in his, like, paleontologist outfit. But yeah, they're like, gonna have, like, you know, what the Pokemon are based on next to, like, the fake fossils of the Pokemon. But yeah, right here with, like, oh yeah, the Anomalocaris next to the Anorith there. The Ammonite next to the Ammonite. Really cool stuff. I definitely want to go next year because it's opening literally like May 22nd next year, and Winnie City is happening like a couple weekends after that. Um, so yeah, I definitely want to go because the last time I went to Winnie City, I did go to the Field Museum. I really liked it. A lot of really cool stuff. I saw Sue the T-Rex. So I definitely want to go there next year, and go see this exhibit. So hopefully I'm able to. All right. Next thing, let's talk about trading cards. So Black Bolt and White Flare were revealed, which are the next special sets that are coming out. It's a dual set. It's the first time it's ever happened in the U.S. Of a dual special set. Because it's so big, they split it into two. Where every single Pokemon from Gen 5 is getting an illustration or special illustration rare, which is really cool. If there's any set I want to try to master set, it's going to be this one, because Gen 5 is one of my favorite generations. Unfortunately, I was not able to get a pre-order from the Pokemon Center. I was trying. I know a lot of people were able to. I was trying to get a pre-order from the Pokemon Center. I was not able to, unfortunately. Hopefully I can try to get some in July when this comes out. But there's a lot of different stuff to get here. There's a little Victini box, little poster collection, some binders, a binder with a Reshiram and a binder with a Zekrom on it. Booster bundles, the mini tins, the tech sticker collection. So yeah, I want to try to get all this. I want to try to get all this so I can open as many packs as I can, because this is one set that, like, of all the sets that have come out so far, this is the one I'm most excited about. Ever since I started getting back into collecting in December. Like, there's a lot of sets that are cool, like 151 is cool, and people still love that. Prismatic Evolutions, I'm kind of disappointed in, because they don't have any illustration rares. It's only special illustration rares. So it makes it a lot harder to pull anything very good, as far as, like, illustrations go. But yeah, can I see a Escavalier, a Celigor, a Hydreigon, a Reuniclus? Oh yeah. So yeah, I really want to try to get these get these products so I can open some more cards. Hopefully in July I can try to get some. Team Rocket. It comes out on the 30th. Destined Rivals comes out on the 30th, and then this comes out July 18th. For Black Bolt and White Flare. But Destined Rivals comes out May 30th. The Pokemon card releases move very fast. They move very, very fast. They kind of need to slow down a bit. But this special set I want to get. I'm so, like I said, Gen 5 is one of my favorites. So hopefully I'm able to get some. Speaking of, like, trying to get something, with Final Fantasy Magic: The Gathering, it had a bunch of its cards revealed, and now I really want to get it. This is also coming out, like, next month. The House of Pokemon cards is not worth it? Oh, yeah, I know. I already have some Pokemon cards when I started collecting in, not or started collecting again in December. Um, so, yeah, there's a lot of really cool cards here, and now I want to get a lot of those, like hopefully, I'll be able to get some. I don't know if I'll be able to get some next month. Um, because I wasn't able to. I didn't get a pre-order because, like, Switch Cut 2 is coming out. I can't really spend any more money. The only reason um, I tried to get a pre-order of the Black Bolt and White Flare Pokemon sets is because they won't charge you until it comes out in July. This comes out next month. Um, so yeah, I don't play Magic either. I played a little bit of Duels of the Planeswalkers on Steam before, so I'm a little bit familiar with how to play. Though that's been years and years ago, so there might have been like some new stuff that they added. Um, however, um, I want this for the art because it's Final Fantasy. Um, and there's a lot of really cool stuff here. I haven't gotten any misprint print cards before. I will be aware if I get any though. But yeah, I want to get these because like a lot of the art looks really cool. The curl here, Crystal's Chosen. This is from 3. Interesting. So yeah, it has art from all 16 games. I don't know if they do any of the like from the spin-offs, but I think it's like all from 16 main Final Fantasies. Bunch of things for the Moogles here. Stilt Skin from Final Fantasy 9. Just like White Mage from like 1. There's Zack Fair. Cloud. Beatrix also from 9. Rosa from 4. There's a bunch of stuff from 14. LSA? Oh, wait. How do you say his name again? I forgot. I already forgot. The guy from 14. Oh, her name? Okay, yeah, because I know there's like the twins or whatever. Oh yeah, Alpha Node or whatever. Camis from the Beyond. Yeah, that's another 14 card. Auron here. Sid. Apparently they have every single version of Sid in this in this set as well. Cyan from 6. Elena, one of the Turks. Heidegger from 7 there. Yeah. Bunch of really cool stuff. I'm super excited for this. I want to try to get some next month. Hopefully I can. Because I think this would be really fun to open. There's Tataru there. Yeah, some of the blue cards. Yeah, Laguna from 8. Oh yeah, hold on. I wanted to show one here that's kind of funny because like there's like different versions of it. Ooh, right here. Look, there's a Tifa, Aerith, and Cloud here when they're sneaking in. But yeah, the secret rendezvous here with like the different like Ferris wheel date options. they have the one with Barrett. Yeah, this is great. Like, yeah, Matoya also from 3. Oh wait, no, this is the 14th of Matoya. I forgot. Like Matoya's all like originally from 3, but this is a 14 Matoya. A Jill. I love the art on Jill here. Like, holy shit. Oh, you can see like Shiva on the back here. That's some really cool art of Jill. Shulta there. Yeah, Jill again. And Leviathan and Shiva. There's a bunch of the... So yeah, was it the first Final Fantasy? I thought... For some reason, I thought it was the third one. I could be wrong, though. I don't know. Ultimecia? Yeah. I'm just scrolling down, looking at, like, all the cool stuff here. Yeah, the white cards, the blue cards, black cards. Black Mage's Rod. There's Jecht. Sephiroth! Oh my god! Look at that! Sephiroth's intervention. That's crazy. Oh my god, the Tonberry. They're saying 5 for this one. Interesting. Arden, that's from, yeah, from 15. I haven't played 15 yet. Oh, there's Vincent. Yeah, still one of the craziest Smash reveals. Oh yeah, somebody was saying, like, I saw there's articles about, like, this card, and, like, another card with Sephiroth, saying how, like... Oh yeah, is like a double-sided card or whatever. I was seeing how people are saying that, like, Sephiroth, like, this says something about, like, Remark Part 3, which, I mean, I assume, like, eventually he's going to look like that, because, you know, that's what he looks like in the original game. Like, as the final boss, so... But I don't know what else people were, like, looking at it. Any Moogles? Oh, yeah, there were a bunch of Moogles. A bunch of white cards are Moogles. There's a Moogle here. These Moogles. Moogle... Oh, it's not Mog, though. It's just a Moogle. Because Mog is from 6. More Moogles there. There's Stiltkin from 9. It's funny, I have Final Fantasy music playing in the background right now, too. But yeah, I'm excited about, like, trying to get some of this. Hopefully I can get some next month so I can open some on stream. I would really like that. A lot of black cards here. Yeah. Oh, there's Clive. Fire Magic? That looks like Vivi there. Oh yeah, it says Final Fantasy 19. Not 19. We're not there yet. Final Fantasy 9. Yeah, that is definitely Vivi then. There's Gilgamesh and Freya. Laughing mad with Kefka. Yeah, this'll be really fun to open if I can get my hands on a. Anyway, yeah. I just wanted to look over some of those with you guys. Well, the last things I want to go over is the Nintendo end of year financial report. So there's a bunch of things here, numbers, a bunch of numbers and stuff, but they wanted to focus on, like, these here, and how the Switch is kind of like business numbers. Is this working? Yeah. The Switch is, like, still, like, chugging along. It hasn't gone down that much. It's gone under what they did in 2018, so it's definitely, you know, Switch 2 coming up. will definitely help them a lot, and like 128 million users like playing the consoles. I mean, that's like a very, very good attach rate for like people that are actually, playing games on the consoles. But yeah, 2025 was, or the fiscal year, like, from like the end of March this year, from the end of March last year. Um but definitely lower because there weren't like a lot of huge releases that came out, because like the year before, we had Zelda come out. Um Tears of the Kingdom was huge. And there was also Pikmin 4, and there was also Mario Party. Oh no, that was this year. That was Mario Party Jam. And speaking of which, Mario Party Jamboree did do the best. That sold over 7 million. That did really, really well. Um, Zelda did well because it's Zelda. Paper Mario, that was near your door. Um, it sold nearly 2 million, which is very good. It sold more than Brothership. These are like more. Well, that was definitely a more recent release. Doggout Returns the HD came out like what, January, and these are still selling. I'm still surprised Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still sold like 6.2 million in 1 year, even though it's been out since near launch of the Switch One. But yeah, so far, yeah, that's crazy. Jamboree sold more than both Superstars um and Super Mario Party in its first 24 weeks. That's crazy. So Mario Party just like keeps getting bigger. And I think word of mouth and definitely like people like streaming it definitely helped a lot. Cuz I saw a lot of people streaming Jamboree. Um People just really enjoyed it. And it's a really good game. It's a really good Mario Party. The only thing I would say is like, um I would like a bigger variety of mini games. Like they did have like the motion control mini games, but I think the boards are really good in Jamboree. It's just like I think there should have been a bigger variety of mini games. There's way too many trivia mini games in in Jamboree. But yeah, they're reiterating their plans for Switch One. So ZA is still coming out. Metroid Prime 4 is still coming out for the Switch One, and they still have plans for the Headband Groove, Tomodachi Life, and I completely forgot, Pokemon Champions is also going to be coming out, and that's probably going to be download only, from what we know, just so we can like keep updating. And they go over like Switch 2 stuff about like this coming out, all their exclusive first party stuff coming out in the first year, and then the Switch 2 edition stuff. Whoop. And then their third party stuff, which this is also third party, but they're also like publishing it outside of Japan, I believe. For Hyrule Warriors, that is. But yeah, lots of stuff at launch. And then stuff like going in Dust Bloods and for next year. But yeah, and this just opened up. I literally just saw a video of this of uh Nintendo San Francisco. And this literally opens up like next week. Super Nintendo World opening up next week. And then of course they announced Zelda, the movie coming out in March of 2027. So we got a couple years for that. Then a bunch of reference materials about stuff. A bunch of numbers, not a bunch of numbers. Yeah. That's pretty much what I want to go over. I was gonna go over the Mario Kart Direct and like some other stuff. But we already did like reaction to that before, and I have that uploaded on my channel. The last thing I wanted to go over actually was something called the Goomba fallacy. In that I saw this going around after like all the controversy about the Switch 2, and like the arguments that people would get in. Um, it was like this about like people believing like contradicting opinions. Um, where they'll see like people they like, oh man, Switch 2 is too expensive. I'm not gonna buy it. And then somebody saying like, I want to buy the Switch 2, and then somebody else believing, wow, I can't believe you're buying the Switch 2, even though you complained about it, even though they're not the same person. So this is like the thing that's been going around for a while, and this I believe this has been going around even before the Switch 2 came out, as far as like something for a Goomba fallacy. However, there is a comic artist that kind of explained this a bit better for how how things sort of gone down like after the Switch 2 as far as like what people see. So imagine it like this. This is from Doc Shoddy. They're super fantastic artists. They do a lot of really good Mario stuff. It's like a bunch of Goombas saying drop the price, and there's like this other Goomba over here that's saying one pre-order please, and then this crazy Daisy here saying, wow, y'all really changed your minds real quick, even though that Goomba was not part of that group. That's what the Goomba fallacy is. Whereas, like, you believe, like, a group of people all think the same, even though there's this one person who is not part of that group at all. That's what the Goomba fallacy is about. And I see a lot of people, like, accusing people of being, like, contradictory, even though that's not what's going on at all. So, yeah, they made an update to this, too. But yeah, go follow Doc Shoddy. They're super good. And then maybe this update here is like, well, if it isn't the stupid walking contradiction, if you're gonna waste your money, you might as well buy that overpriced webcam so I can see the look on your cute dumb face during Knockout Tour. See you on June 5th, you flip flop. I think she has a crush on her. That's what I think's going on. I like his. Oh yeah, his Shy Guy and Bandit comic are very good. Of like the Bandit girlfriend. Mean lesbians, ayo, yeah. But yeah, that original thing here. This is kind of like a better explanation about what this is supposed to be. Of like, she is not part of that group. She was never agreeing with these people. She just wanted to get her Switch 2. Which is like me. I just wanted to get my Switch 2. Like I said, like before the price was revealed, that if it's over $500, I would not buy it. But it was under, so I bought it. Anyway, that's it for the stream, or not the stream, but for the podcast. That's it for the podcast. We'll probably have another podcast in the middle of June, like a week after the Switch 2 comes out. So yeah, the next time we'll be here talking about gaming news is going to be when the Switch 2 comes out, and we'll be talking about like the release and everything. So that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, say bye to YouTube. Say bye to YouTube. Bye YouTube. We'll see you next time during the podcast. And the Switch 2 will be out by then, which is really cool. I'm excited. We're literally what? How many weeks away? We are 3 weeks away. We're 3 weeks away from the Switch 2 coming out. Wow. Yeah, bye YouTube.